Hello, horror collectors. If you don't know, my name is Mike, and I guess it's just that time of the year once again when I do a complete horror room tour of my complete collection. But do me one favor before we slice into the video. Can you go ahead and give the video one thumbs up, one like if you see anything that you think is cool in my collection, and also consider subscribing if you love horror collecting just as much as I do. But without further ado, let's slice right into it. Alright, let's begin my horror room tour for 2024. Of course, the first thing, because I really wanted to set the tone for my horror room, so I got one of these really cool door covers from Spirit Halloween, and I ended up picking out Gremlins because I love Gremlins so much. So it kind of just sets the tone already for anyone that comes to visit or hangs out for my kids' parties and stuff. They already know what they're getting into. So when you open the door, the first thing you're going to see is I got the original line of the Puppet Master figures. A couple exclusive variants like the Halloween Pinhead, the exclusive Red Manifesto, the Gold Torch, things like that, Gold Six Shooter. And I don't have all of them. I do have one of the retro Puppet Masters. I have Dr. Death. I don't have the whole line or anything like that. And I think I'm going to pick them up over the years if I go to cons and things like that. But the ones that I do have are super cool. And I do have Blade, but he's outside his package because his package was so badly damaged, I just ended up taking them out. Down below there, I got a full-size Critters 3 theatrical poster. It's definitely showing its age. It's starting to curl. I didn't frame this. Sometimes I wish I did. Sometimes I think, who gives a shit? And then behind the door here, I got, in my opinion, the two best, I got the two best horror documentaries that are not, film or franchise specific. In Search of Darkness, Part 1 and Part 2. Love those documentaries. They're super long, they're super fun, and if you haven't seen them, seriously go out of your way to watch these. And then I also have this little Spirit Halloween Friday the 13th wooden sign with the Jason mask on it, and when I saw this, I fell in love with it and I wanted it. And then it wasn't until after I got home that I realized the masks aren't even in order, and it really frustrates and pisses me off, but I still have it because I paid for it, and whatever, what are you gonna do? Now this, I probably get the most compliments on out of anything in my whole collection. This is where the closet used to be in my horror room. I just took the door off, and I created my own little Annabelle display here. My wife and I came up with the idea, if you guys have seen Annabelle Creation, the prequel movie, when they lock Annabelle in the closet and they surround her in Bible verses to kind of keep her evil contained and whatnot. My wife and I got these old fake verses, and we printed them on aged paper, and we just surrounded Annabelle with all the verses to conceal her evil. I even got the warning, positively do not open. Of course, the Trick or Treat Studios 1-to-1 Annabelle. I got her sitting in a chair, all in a glass case. This is really cool, and this case actually lights up. If you all want to see that, it's on my YouTube Shorts. You can see it all lit up with the lights off, and it's a really, really cool thing to see. And it took my wife and I a whole Saturday to put this together, so we're super proud of it, and I appreciate all the love that we do get for this piece. And just off to the left of that, I have this really cool Jason mask that my daughter made me for, the Valentine's Day or one of my birthdays. I think it was one of my birthdays. Years and years ago when my daughter was like 2 or 3 years old, she made that for me, so that's adorable. Friday the 13th, the game poster came with the physical copy. Another thing my daughter made me, this really cool thing with some slashers on it, and the heart, it says King of Horror, of course 2021, my daughter Miley, so that's beautiful. This is really cool. I went to go see Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, and they had one more of these, steel tin, popcorn tins, and I'm like, you know what? I think I want that. So I said, fuck it, I want it. So I bought that. It's kind of cool. I love it. And below that, I actually have an empty space. And a Spirit Halloween pickup from this year is the Big Top Burger from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And I'm hoping to meet the Kyoto brothers at the end of the month in Iowa. And I'm hoping to get their autographs, and I'm going to put them above the Big Top Burger sign. Now, a lot of this wall is a lot of people that I've met at conventions, and I'm not going to go into long, drawn-out stories because I want to be mindful of y'all's time. But, of course, I met Shawnee Smith, Amanda Young from the Saw franchise. I met Jonathan Breck, the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. I met Peter Cowper, the original My Bloody Valentine miner, the OG movie, the good one. in my opinion. I got to meet him at a convention. And then I have the Haddonfield Tribune, a take on the Halloween Massacre, of course, from the original Halloween film, 1978. I got this really cool take on what the newspaper may have looked like, and some really cool references and nods in here, like Nicholas, Nick Castle and all that. So this is a really cool piece. I really, really love that. And going further down from there, we have right here, this was a big year for me for conventions. I got to knock off some of my biggest bucket list meets ever this year. And two of those happened to be, y'all know my love for the Hannibal TV series. I got to meet Mads Mikkelsen, who plays Hannibal. And I also got to meet Hugh Dancy, who plays Will Graham. I got to meet them at C2E2 in Chicago. That was an absolute blast. Now, I'm going to save your fingers. I'm going to save your fingers to work out. I know it seems like I have seemingly the two gayest pictures from the entire show, but hear me out. My original idea was to, of course, because of space reasons, I wanted to get them both to sign the same picture, so I had to find a picture with both of those characters in the same shot together, in the same scene. So I grabbed one scene from the two greatest finales, in my opinion, in almost of all of television history, Season 2 and Season 3. And they were both going to sign the same one. Problem being is when I was talking with Hugh Dancy, he signed half of the photo. His autograph is huge, and he wrote to Michael, and it's huge, and I'm like, well, shit, now what do I do? I happen to have this one in my bag because I couldn't decide which one I wanted to get autographed. So I'm like, well, I'll just get a solo, 8x10 at, Maz's table. He didn't have any Hannibal there. I'm like, what? Or he had one, but it was a really bad picture. So I'm like, well, I still got this. So I just decided to get that signed, and that's why that is what it is. But you know what? I'm proud of the pictures, and I love them, so I don't give a shit. But I'm just putting it out there just so all of y'all are aware. And we'll come back up. I also got to meet Christina Lease, of course, Kyle from the Child's Play franchise. Super cool. I also got to meet David Howard Thornton, of course, Art the Clown. And yes, Terrifier is a little over a month away as of recording this. Cannot wait. Terrifier 3 is coming. Got to meet Alex Vincent, of course, Andy Barkley from the Child's Play franchise. Super cool guy. There's me with David Howard Thornton. And then up here, I got to meet Billy Boyd, who voices Glenn and Glenda from Seed of Chucky. So I had to get a Glenn and a Glenda autograph. I did not get a picture with him because he was only doing photo ops. And I didn't buy a photo op ahead of time, and he wouldn't do pictures at the table. But I did meet him, I talked to him, I shook his hand, and that was absolutely awesome. And then right here, I got this really awesome artwork by Chris Osfulton. You can find him, I'm sure, on all socials and on eBay. He had this awesome leprechaun print that I just had to have. I saw it on eBay, and I picked it up because I love the leprechaun, and it's like the best thing on planet Earth. And down from the leprechaun, I have this really cool 11x17 Hannibal Season 2 poster that I got at a convention, and I got to meet Catherine Isabel. She's known for, of course, Margot and Hannibal, or she was also Gib in Freddy vs. Jason, Ginger Snaps, stuff like that. I ran out of money, so I couldn't afford the picture, but I did get her autograph on this, and she was so happy to talk Hannibal with me. She was very nice. And then down here, another two people that I got to scratch off my bucket list this year, which just I never thought I'd be able to, is I got to meet the legendary Michael Gross, Burt Gummer from the Tremors movie, and took the coolest photo op I have ever taken in all of my convention goings. This is awesome. A little recreation of the rec room scene from the first movie. Love that so much. And of course, the man himself, I got to meet Costas Mandylor from Saw. You know me, he's my favorite character. If you don't know, he's my favorite character. Love Detective Mark Hoffman, and he is going to get out of that restroom. I'm telling you, he's getting out of that bathroom. I've been saying it for 13 years, and I still stand by it. He's not dead. I don't care what anybody tells me. Got to meet Costas Mandylor at Days of the Dead. Super cool. And then I also have this really cool Krampus is coming to town sign from Spirit Halloween. Spirit makes some really good signs, you know what I mean? They're actually really high quality. They're painted nice, they're strong, they're thick. I like it. And down here I got this really cool 11x17 metallic Annabelle poster that I got at a convention as well. I'm hoping to get this autographed one day. I'm not sure by who or why or when, but I don't know, someday. But it's just cool, and I love The Conjuring, and Annabelle is my favorite of the films. You know, not the original creation is my favorite of all the films, but I just love Annabelle, love the demon, love the creature, so just love that shit. And then we come back up from there. Of course, I met Billy Boyd, which we talked about. I also got this awesome autograph from the legendary Warwick Davis, the Leprechaun. Try as they will, try as they might, those who steal me gold won't live through the night. I did not get to meet him, unfortunately. This was ordered through his website, The Signature Shop, and there's a COA on the back of the picture frame here. I almost met Warwick Davis, but then his wife actually, unfortunately, passed away, and he had to cancel the convention, and that was a rough day. That was hard to hear, and I rest in peace to her. I also got to meet Ken Kersinger, one of my favorite portrayals of Jason Voorhees. I got to meet him twice. This is actually the second time that I met him right here. This was the second time I met him, and this was the first time I got to meet him. He's a really cool guy. I need to meet him one more time so I can get a Rusty Nail 8x10 autographed, but I haven't got there yet. But of course you can see the mask in his hand. That is made by fiberglassmask.com. In my opinion, the best mask on the market today. Real fiberglass, real leather straps, no cheap shit. And I asked him to autograph an FVJ style mask for me, and I shadow boxed it. It's one of my prized possessions in my whole collection. And down here, my wife had made this for me as a present. This is my design. I don't know who made this. I apologize, but it's cool and I love it. It just makes me so happy. And underneath that, this is a holy grail to a lot. It's a big piece. This is the NECA, the old school NECA Real Toys Freddy vs. Jason diorama. This bad boy is hard to find. It's numbered on the bottom. I don't know what number I have, but I know that I have it, and I'm proud to have it. That was a Christmas present from my parents a long time ago, so that's a huge piece of my collection, too. And underneath that, we have this Family Video Curse of Chucky poster. Of course, I was born in the early 90s. I'm a 90s baby, and I love movie stores, blockbusters, family videos, tons of memories, tons of nostalgia. And before they all closed down and streaming took over the fucking universe, I walked in there and I just asked them, I said, hey, what are you guys going to do with that Curse of Chucky poster? They said, I don't know, throw it away. And I said, I'll take it. And they pulled it off the wall and they gave it to me. So I love it. I love it not only because it's Chucky, because it's a memory, but it's becoming a relic, right? Family Video. There's people watching this that probably don't even know what Family Video or Blockbuster even are. So that's why I love that. And I'm always going to keep it in the collection, even though it's starting to see its wear and tear. But that's okay. It's always going to have a place in my collection. All right. Now we're going to go across the shelf here. Don't mind the dust, because that's in all of our collections. This was a really nice gift from someone's personal collection. Shout out to Danielle, a really good friend of mine. This is all NECA. We have the Swamp Pamela, Zombie Pamela Jumps Out of the Water, Part 3. And then we have the Ultimate Jasons that have been released, of course. We're still waiting on a few more, and I just did a video on that, because we're all begging for Part 8, Part 9, both Part 10s. Come on, guys. We're waiting. But I do have all the Ultimate Jasons that have been released. I got them all in order. And this is a really cool, fun thing right here, too. I fancy myself on being very knowledgeable with Freddy vs. Jason. I mean, not only just the film, but all the merchandise and things that came out. And my good friend Tony came over and he handed me this. He's like, oh, I wanted you to have this. And I've never, ever in my life seen Freddy vs. Jason hot sauce. 3 different styles. Fire Scorcher, Deadly Duel, and Campfire hot sauce. I've never seen this before, and it's such a cool, odd item that I'm just so grateful he let me have for my collection. I love it. I love it so much. And who knows, maybe for like a celebration, maybe I'll eat some and then I can die live on camera, because it's probably about 20-something years old. So, so yeah, I'm really happy to have that, man. Shout out. Thank you so much again, Tony. And then over here, I got to meet Zach Galligan, of course, Billy Peltzer from Gremlins. He was a really cool guy as well. This was a gift from my mom back in 2013 that I got autographed to me from Robert Englund. And my mom actually, her treat, took me to go meet Robert Englund in the Freddy makeup at Flashback Weekend many, many years ago. And that was an absolute blast. It's a memory I'll have forever. And this was a gift from another really good friend of mine. Really, really cool Freddy's Dead Final Nightmare comic, 3D magazine. Love it, love it, love it. Or comic, I'm sorry, not a magazine. Love to see it, love to see it. I got this metal Elm Street sign, none of that fake bullshit. Gotta have an Elm Street sign. There's my weekend pass when we went to Flashback. And of course, Chris Fulton knocks it out of the park again with this Pumpkinhead Ed Harley painting that he did. It's absolutely beautiful. It's so gorgeous. We need more Pumpkinhead in our collections. I'm just telling y'all, he's underrated and underappreciated, but not in this collection. He's not, because I have even more Pumpkinhead on pre-order. And we'll get to that when that shit comes in. And behind my life-size Freddy, I have this really cool record that was obviously cut to look like Chucky's face. My brother got that at a convention and later gave it to me. And then a little Walking Dead Negan Something to Fear 11x17 poster back there. Kind of flanked here by my Pinhead mask, another gift from Eric, a good friend of mine. Shout out to you, man. I hope you're doing well. I haven't heard from you in a while. Really love that. That's my favorite puppet. And then we also have this Leprechaun-inspired bust. To me, it doesn't look like Lyndon Porco. It doesn't look like Warwick Davis. It's somewhere in the middle. So I like to call it an inspiration piece, inspired by. And then, of course, I have my life-size Freddy Krueger that I've had for so long that you can see the latex is starting to harden and discolor in his face because he's so old. But it's a complete life-size Freddy versus Jason style Freddy Krueger in the corner of my horror room. And just below him is the old school Sideshow Billy the Puppet 1-to-1 scale replica prop. And of course, he is on top of a tricycle and his foot never seems to stay on the pedal, but that's okay. So I got these really, really cool pieces right here that I love. When you walk in, they're really eye-catching. It's kind of like, whoa, kind of takes you by surprise. Love to have it. And then before we go into the detox here on the left, I also want to show you guys I have this really cool rug on the floor of Michael, Freddy, Leatherface, and Jason. It's right in front of all this stuff. This is where my back faces all this when I film, but so that's really cool too. My wife got that for me as a gift, and I kind of unraveled it. I'm like, oh shit, this is awesome. So I wanted to show you all that. So coming back over here, right on top here, I'm a big Twisted Metal fan, grew up on Twisted Metal, and I just always loved Sweet Tooth. Needles Kane, Marcus Kane, whatever lore you want to follow, whatever you want to call them, I just love Sweet Tooth. So I have this really cool Sweet Tooth truck that's a remote control car, and one of my favorite Funko Pops that's ever been made. I love this thing. I love it so much. And I also have the NECA Ultimate Tim Curry Pennywise that unfortunately took a fall, and he has a broken hand there that I have to super glue back on, which I think I said that in the last horror room tour last year, and I still haven't got around to it. But I promise he will be fixed. And inside this DTOF, I have the 1-to-1 full-size replica of Tiffany from Seed of Chucky. This is from Chick or Treat Studios. I love these dolls. I have full reviews on all three of them on the channel. There's some of my older videos, so they might not be super great, but they're there. And then I have the 2018 Halloween Kills I Never Stand Up Michael Myers. The NECA Ultimate My Bloody Valentine minor figure. This is the cloth version. And then the NECA Ultimate Ghostface. Now, I got these because these represent three good friends in my life, and all of us as friends and like just a group. I wanted to get Slasher to represent all of their favorites, so that's what these three represent. And down here, I have a really cool 1/6 scale Blade back there, who's getting a ton of love now. Of course, I don't want to spoil it, but he's getting a ton of love right now. And if you know, then you know, but I've loved him forever. If you're a fan of the Underworld movies, this is a soft vinyl statue of Marcus, one of the vampire elders. And then I have this. This is an exact replica made from the only surviving mold of the original Trilogy of Terror Zuni Killer doll. And this thing is so cool. This is from Hollywood Collectibles, and again, it is numbered on the bottom. It's one of my most prized possessions. First horror movie I ever saw was Trilogy of Terror. And I got this really cool prop here from Dark Matter Props. It's a Krampus bell, completely screen accurate, and you got to customize it with my own name right there. This is really cool. It's the Krampus bell, of course, from the end of the film. And I fucking love this thing. I have a whole video on this on the channel. Again, it's one of my older videos, but it's there. And then down here, I have the Trick or Treat Studios, the Creeper mask. Pretty high-end mask. I like it. It's not perfect, but it is a cool mask. But the reason why it's in my collection and it's behind glass is when I met Jonathan Breck, I asked him to autograph it to me, to Michael Jonathan Breck, the Creeper. So I really, really like that piece. And I like having autographed pieces in my collection. I feel like it kind of brings the collection together, so I'm definitely excited to have it. And on top of the next DTOF here, we have my ever-growing Killer Clowns collection starting to spread like wildfire. I got 3 of the Trick or Treat Studios Scream Greats, Slim, Fatso, and Shorty. I also have a Funko Pop of Clownzilla, my favorite clown. And also, I got this amazing Funko Pop little set here, a scene set of Bibbo, Shorty popping out of the pizza box, and they're cotton candying, cocooning this chick. I don't remember her name. So yeah, it just is what it is. And then I got the 1-to-1 scale Trick or Treat Studios Glenn doll from Seed of Chucky. Also the 1-to-1 scale replica of Mr. Snuggles from Spiral, the Book of Saw. A lot of people don't like Spiral, but I will defend that movie. I really liked it, and it's 1,000 times better than that movie Jigsaw. So can we at least agree on that? Put down in the comments below. Can we at least agree on that, please? Speaking of autographed props that I love, I have this replica of the Hannibal mask from the TV series. And when I met Mads Mikkelsen, I actually asked him to autograph this for me as well. One of my favorite things in my entire collection. And coming down here, we got some Full Moon love. Of course, I have the Baby Oopsie 1-to-1 scale replica from Full Moon. This is the Baby Oopsie likeness from the TV shows. I really like this thing. It's really cool. I thought it was a little overpriced at first, but I got it, I think, on a Valentine's Day sale. And when I got it, I liked it more than I thought I would, and I thought it was a fair price, so I had to have it. And then down here I have the replica of Pinhead, of course, from Puppet Master. I picked this up at a convention. It was the last one that they had. It's a 1-to-1 scale replica of Pinhead, and I just had to have it. I was looking at this thing, and I'm like, I have to have this. I think my exact words were, tell me about it, or make me buy it, or something like that. My brother was laughing. He's like, man, something's wrong with you. And I'm like, hey, man, look, I have to have it. And this right here is a piece that I legitimately lost sleep over. I was surfing the internet, and ever since I've been collecting, I've always wanted a full-size Jack Attack for my collection. And long story short, I found someone that made them, and he just happened to have just one, and I got it. He doesn't make them anymore, so I was one of the lucky few, but this thing is absolutely gorgeous. The detail in this son of a bitch is fucking beautiful. And I'm sorry I'm cussing so much, but good God, it's beautiful. This was made by Horror Man Cave. Eric, I asked him to autograph it because it is his work after all, and he deserves all the credit for it. All my pieces I like to display with who made them if I can, or have them autograph their piece, because it's not about, oh, they're famous or not. It's about the fact that he put in the work to make that for my collection, and he will forever be immortalized with that piece in my collection as far as I'm concerned, because he's the one that brought it to life. He's the talented one, not me. So I really appreciate him making that so I can make it a part of my collection, because it's one of my favorite things in this room by far. But atop the next DTOF, I have some more Funko Pop action. I have a Jumbo Chucky and a Jumbo Gizmo. Fucking just love those. I have Merle Dixon from The Walking Dead, Chatterer from Hellraiser, Chucky and Tiffany from Bride, Negan from The Walking Dead, and Daryl from The Walking Dead as well. I just realized, why don't I have the brothers next to each other? Maybe I should change that. I don't know. Then again, they're kind of bookending. I don't know. That's fine. And then I have a 1-to-1 scale, of course, Seed of Chucky, Trick or Treat Studios. Y'all know what this is. It's Chucky replica. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. I don't even know what else to say. I love looking at it. It's an awesome piece, and I'm so honored to have it. I got some Leprechaun action down here. Some of you might know what this bad boy is. Some of you might not. This was a bendy promotional figure that was given out at the release of the film. they wanted to they were promoting the movie, and you got to answer a couple questions, and then you got that as a prize. And now it goes for hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and it's kind of hard to find, so I'm really glad that I have one. This is a custom piece that I got here from Serial Resin Company. I just came across it on eBay. He's only made so many of these. I believe it's numbered, and it is number 7 out of 10. He made only 10 of the gold variant ones, and it was Leprechaun, and I just had to have it. Also, I have the Leprechaun Funko Pops. Still, to this day, and I'm going to say this every horror room tour until it changes, the only Warwick Davis Leprechaun mass-produced figure ever. I'm going to keep saying it. Amazon exclusive, FYE exclusive, and the original. Love it, love it, love it. Right here, this is a 3016 scale Hannibal Lecter portrayal from the TV show. Super glad to have that. That is a piece that has been well out of production for a long time, and I had to pay up for him. I had to pay, and I still got a deal, and I still had to pay out the ass for that, but it was well worth it. Speaking of 1/6 scale, I have the Trick or Treat Studios Selfie Murder edition of Art the Clown. Love that so much. And the same gentleman that made the Jack Attack from Me Horror Man Cave, Eric, the talented son of a bitch, he also made, with all due respect, he also made this Grizzly Teddy from Demonic Toys as well. I don't know if I said that. If you don't know, Jack Attack and Baby Oopsie are from Demonic Toys, the Full Moon films. He also made a Grizzly Teddy, so I ordered that as well. And down here, in my opinion, this is the first or second best latex leprechaun mask custom on the market right now, and this was made by Monster Man Studios. Again, it's leprechaun. If I see horror leprechaun and I don't have it, I'm going to buy it. That's just kind of a rule in my life, you know. It's just always going to be who I am. Leprechaun, I'm going to buy it. So I really love that mask. The detail is really good. I love it, and I love it enough to put it behind the glass. And here I got a couple more lanyards of cons I've attended, C2E2, and then Anime 414. So, you know, just a couple little cool lanyards there. Stuff that I can, like, look at and be like, oh, yeah, I remember that. And you kind of get flooded with memories. I don't have all my lanyards, but I got a couple, so those are pretty cool. And then behind everything back here, things are getting a little messy. I'm having some serious space danger. Shout out to YHS. I have this really awesome painting of Hannibal from the TV series. This was made by Robert James Lubke. He has a website you can check out. I believe it's bobtheartist.com, and you've probably met him at conventions. He makes these really cool prints. He autographed it for me in the corner. Hannibal TV series, have to have it. I met Fiona Dorif at a con. She was really nice. I met her, and I got a second autograph from her right here. Again, I got to get this stuff out of the corner. And then I have 2 Saw 7 tickets. Those were 2 premiere tickets for Hollywood. I got those. And then back here, if you can see a Freddy vs. Jason, that is a movie theater Mylar that would go above the poster. That, I believe, came out of California or Colorado. And I want to get a light box and hang that up. But until I do, it won't be. Right here might be my most prized possession. This is a complete screen-used wardrobe worn by the great Lawrence Fishburne. This was the outfit that he wore in the season 2 finale of Hannibal. This is when his character Jack Crawford fought Hannibal. It's completely dressed in stage blood, and if you've ever seen the finale, you know why he's covered in so much blood. If you haven't, please go watch it. The TV show it's so good. I've named my channel after it. Again, screen use. This is a piece of television history, and it just blows me away when I walk in here and I'm like, wow, I own this. So shout out to you, Lee, who gave me the opportunity to own this. You are awesome, and I got nothing but love for you. And some of this stuff y'all have seen in my videos. Trick or Treat Studios 2018 Michael Myers mask. This is I believe the gentleman's name is Jason. He handmade this Krite that was a gift. This was given to me for one of my birthdays. And I found the 2 little Krite eggs on Etsy, so I thought I'd get those to add to them. Now these 2 bad boys right here are made by DWN Productions. I don't know if they even make these anymore, but they made the little snowman killer, the little killer snowball from Jack Frost 2, Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman. And of course the OG Jack Frost. is right there. The scarf did not come with the mask. I had to find one that looked close to it, and then I bought the scarf. I think it was like a Celtic scarf or something, and I just wrapped it around it to make it look cool. But yeah, so those are two pieces that I love. And that's why they're in the background, because I want them to be seen as much as possible. As well as this awesome xenomorph skull that my wife got me. This is a really cool handmade crafted piece. I don't even know who made this, but it's beautiful, and I'm glad that I have it. That's all I know, and that's all I can say. I love this Xeno skull so much. And in the Detolf below the Xeno skull, I have a lot of Predator 2 Ultimate Yautjas. Now, these are all of the Lost Tribe, of course, from the end of Predator 2. This is the complete Lost Tribe. I was hunting these guys for a long time. I finally got them all in the same square, and it makes me really happy. And if you notice, I know I get a lot of shit for not displaying them with certain accessories, especially the shaman with no cloak and everything, but I tried to make them look exactly like they did in the movie. Even if it meant taking off some of their armor or holding a spear that's closed, I tried to make them look exactly like they did in the film, so I really love that. And below them, I have some more Yautjas down here. I have the two that never made it to the movie The Predator. I hate that movie. They never made it, but there was tons of, there was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 production shots of them, behind the scenes shots and whatnot of them in the costumes, but unfortunately they were cut. And I got both of those, and then of course the Fugitive Predator from that movie. I hate that movie, but I still have to buy the toys. I can't help myself. Of course, we have the Jungle Hunter. We have this badass Dutch figure that I just recently got, and we also have the City Hunter. One of my favorite Yautjas in the whole franchise is the City Hunter. And then just below that, huge fucking shout out to my good friend Tony, who recently gave me the opportunity to buy some figures that he was looking to kind of downsize his alien collection to get some other stuff. And he gave me the opportunity to purchase Dutch and also all of these Marines with these eggs. I just was so happy. My alien NECA collection looked like it looked like shit until Tony came along. Honest to God, it did. And now this is my favorite Detolf square, probably in my whole room. I come in here all the time, and I just sit and look at these. Like when I'm getting ready for work, I just love it. I love how they display Hicks, Hudson, Vasquez, Frost, Windrix. I love it. And I got the 2 alien warriors in the back, the blue and brown variants. Of course, we got chest bursters, face huggers, eggs, and of course, one of the best final girls of all time. We have Ripley and Newt from Aliens, one of the best movies of all time, in my opinion. And then down here, we got a lot of alien action. Some really cool stuff. I know it's kind of dark, but the aliens are dark. The Fireteam Elite aliens, more eggs. We got a face hugged in the back. Just really cool display. It looks really cool on display. I love it so much. Tony was also nice enough to give me... I almost broke that door. Tony was also nice enough to give me the dog alien from Alien 3. And unfortunately, he just couldn't make it into the case. But he deserves to be in the collection. So he's just kind of hanging out here in the middle. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm going to get you in the case. I promise I will. I'm thinking about taking these Predators out and maybe making this all a Xeno case. I don't know. That's boring. Let's get on. Let's continue with the tour. So then, of course, this is the background in all of my videos. The Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake sign. 2 really cool Jason masks that were made for a friend of mine, Luigi. He's awesome, and he's super creative and obviously talented because both of these masks look really cool. And again, shout out to Tony. He also gave me the opportunity to purchase the NECA Deluxe Alien Queen, which I've never had, and now I do. So it's fucking awesome to have that. I'm just so happy to have it. With poor Bishop there, just yeah, he's seen better days. But the Queen kind of got to him. This is a really cool little resin statue of Jack Attack, of course, Demonic Toys. We have some Toonie Terrors action from NECA, John Kramer, Billy, and what I'm going to say is Amanda. I don't care what anybody says. That's Amanda. That's John Kramer. All right? Just so you're aware. That's how I look at it. And then I'm a huge King Kong fan. He's always been my favorite kaiju. So I have this monstrous 18-inch Mezco King Kong, and he's surrounded by all four of the NECA Ultimate King Kongs right here. Super, super cool. Love those. If it's King Kong, I'm probably going to pick it up, just like Leprechaun and Critters and all the other stuff that I love. This really cool Gremlins cocoon that came with the accessory set. The NECA little mini Annabelle. A gift from a friend's personal collection that she had sent me as a complete surprise. Got a package in the mail, and I'm like, what's this? And I opened it, and it was one of the nicest things someone's ever done to me. For me, especially since starting this channel, it was a complete surprise. I just randomly mentioned in a video that my nun had broken, and I got this in the mail out of her personal collection. So shout out Danielle, and thank you so much. Also, this Crooked Man NECA Ultimate figure, super cool. And of course, the I almost said Trick or Treat Studios, the Spirit Halloween cotton candy gun, complete with lights and sound. So that's super cool. Again, my Killer Clowns collection is ever growing. And then down here, I met Kane Hodder a couple times, but one time that I met him, I got the Victor Crowley from Hatchet autographed. A couple plushies there, King Kong and Michael Myers. The replica Lucille, Negan, The Walking Dead. I got this bloody machete here with blood and guts on it. I've had this for, oh my God, probably over 20 years. I always say that, when other kids were opening Transformers, for Christmas, I was unwrapping this for Christmas. My parents got me this bloody machete, and it's so cool. It's actually a real machete. It's just dulled down, actually, so it's really cool. And then, Doug Bradley, of course, Pinhead from Hellraiser. I got that autographed to me. I did not get to meet him. He was doing what he called a virtual convention because it was when COVID was really high and everyone was staying home and everyone was, there was no toilet paper and people couldn't wipe their ass and all that. Yeah. Remember those days? Yeah. Yeah, well, he was doing a virtual convention, so I got to send him my name and pick out a picture and ask him a question, and he sent me a video back answering my question and sent this in the mail. So that was really cool. Yeah, this is a Krampus plushie. I don't even know who makes this, but Krampus with two of his minions, the evil Teddy and the evil gingerbread man. So I love that. My family got me that. I think my wife and my kids got me that. So I love it because it's Krampus and I love Krampus. And also in this case right here, y'all, this is a lot of my screen used pieces and production used pieces. Of course, from the Saw movies, I have a lot of production used photos here of some of the people that were put into traps. These are really cool, and everything's complete with the COA, of course, from Twisted Pictures. Now, this one I had to go into a bidding war for, the Seth Baxter crime scene photo, but it had a tie to Mark Hoffman, my favorite character, and I had to pay up for this bad boy. It was me. There was a bunch of people bidding, but it was me and one other person in particular, and we were going back and forth. And y'all know how it is on eBay, man. You hit them with that high number, and you're just like, boom, come back from that, because the auction's going to end in about 40 seconds, and you ain't going to beat my high bid. So that's how I ended up getting that. It's one of my favorite things in the room. I also have a production used early draft of the Amanda letter from Hoffman. I got a little swatch of Tiffany's dress, one of Tiffany's dresses from Seed of Chucky. One of the bloody tiles from the most iconic bathroom in film history, in my opinion. The bloody tile used in the bathroom in Saw 7. This is a piece of it, because they cut up the floor, of course, when they were done wrapping. The movie was wrapped and everything. Production ended. They had actually cut the floor up into little squares so they could sell it to multiple collectors and more people could own a piece. They do that shit all the time. So that's a normal thing in prop collecting. I also have a production-used hatchet that was used in Hannibal, the final episode of Season 3. I also have a couple Frisbees from Tremors 3, I believe it was, Tremors 3. Those were used on set. Also, a little piece of the Pred Alien from AVP. That's a little piece of the latex suit. It's kind of cool, a little cool piece to have. As well as this Tremors keychain from Tremors 3 as well. And down here, I have a whole video on this, so I'm going to keep it brief, but this is a screen-used exploded hand and arm of the Leprechaun from Leprechaun 4 in space. I had this case custom made, this little one. It's UV protected and everything. It It's going to keep it hopefully looking good. It shows its age. I mean, the latex is beyond discolored and hard. I might have to get this restored one day, but this is a screen-used piece from Leprechaun 4 in space. So how many people can say that, you know? Love that thing. I got a whole video on it if you want to know more about it. And I also have this really cool from Screen Used. They were screen-used props and wardrobes. They're no longer around anymore, unfortunately. They've been gone for a good handful of years, but they had these really cool pinhead hands from Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys. They had one mold and then one actual animatronic hand, both from Pinhead. So it's really cool to have, you know. Anything screen used, even if it's a little thing like a piece of tile or a keychain, or it's a bigger thing like a frickin' wardrobe. It's just cool to have things that were used in your favorite movies and TV shows, you know. And of course, I almost forgot about the first horror convention I ever went to. I got this little cheap Jason mask, and I got it autographed by Kane Hodder and personalized to me. So that's super cool, and definitely something that I love to have in the collection because, again, it's the first horror con I ever went to, so it really, really brings me back. And over here on the wall, just when you come in the door, instead of going toward Annabelle, you come to this side. The first autograph I ever got was this. When I met Kane Hodder, To Michael, See You in Hell, Jason X. I freaking love that movie. I don't care what anybody says. This is a really cool metal sign from Spirit Halloween, the 3 rules, of course, of Mogwais. We all know what they are. And, of course, this was long enough ago where Kane would actually still choke people because people weren't being little bitch-ass crybabies. And, yes, I know I have the face that looks like I might be having some sort of mental breakdown or some sort of a stroke. But how I always explain it is I wanted to look like I was scared, but then I realized that he was actually choking the shit out of me. So this is a mixture of trying to look scared and holy shit, he's choking me. And I love it so much. Right here, I got an autographed number 722 out of 1,000, Kane, See No Evil. Pretty cool. Of course, I love Hatchet. I love, Kane Hodder. Love Adam Green. All that stuff. This is the NECA Victor Crowley figure that came out, and I ordered this through Aries Scope, so Adam Green had autographed it for me, because I'm pretty much an out-of-box collector, but because Adam had autographed it for me, I'm going to leave it in there. Really cool comic book, Walking Dead style. How many walkers have you killed? How many people have you killed? Why? And a really cool autographed light switch cover that was a gift, which, again, just such a unique thing to have, but hey, why not? I love it. I love that it's here. I also have this. This is also a screen-used piece as well in the Hannibal TV series. The COA is actually inside of the frame, but this is a screen-used piece from the show. It's something that Hannibal had drawn in his cell. And this is another time when I had met Kane Hodder. I believe when I got that Victor Crowley autographed, my family and I took a picture with him. And one of my favorite autographs, because it's one of those, oh my god, I can't believe I actually got to do this. Brad Dourif, of course, Chucky, I got an autographed picture from, and I got to meet the man himself. Legendary day that was, let me tell you. That was legendary. And then at the movie theater, when I went to go see Godzilla vs. Kong, they were handing out these little free posters. So I grabbed one and I framed it because I wanted it in my collection because I love Kong so much. And I am a big Godzilla fan as well. Down here I have my little pile of yet to be displayed. My ultimate goal is to get a shelf where I can display all my minis. I have, of course, the Puppet Master figures, the Chucky Ultimates, even a Sam Trick or Treat down there. So all this stuff eventually will be on display. Some parts of the Gremlins accessory set, I haven't got an Ultimate Gremlin yet to make into the Bandit. I got some really cool stickers that were sent to me, and I love them. I just don't know where to put them. My good friend Tony had actually, I showed y'all, he gave me some eggs, and this is what the eggs came in, this really cool carton that I think is super cool, super unique, and I'm gonna keep this. It's just a matter of, getting into storage where it's safe. And then, of course, right here, this is a prized possession in my horror collection. This probably means more to me than anything else in the room. This is my good brother Joshua and his family. Yeah, he has a beautiful family. And Joshua, shout out to you, man. I miss you. I haven't seen you in a while, but keep hanging around, man. So, yeah, that's that's some stuff that I got to get on display right there. But eventually we all have that pile of, eventually. And of course, this shelf that you see in all my videos, it's kind of packed. It's got a bunch of different things on here. A lot of Ash, Ashy Slashy replica, of course an Ash plush, Evil Dead 2 Ultimate Ash, a Godzilla NECA figure versus style, and a lot of Funko Pop King Kong, Jumbo Kong, Suko, Mecha Godzilla, Scar King, Jumbo Godzilla. And in the back there we got the old Sideshow Freddy and Jason figures, I believe 12-inch and 13 or 14-inch. I've had those things forever. I used to play with those when I was a kid. Oh my God, they used to beat the shit out of each other. I loved doing that. And then, of course, we have more King Kong, Jumbo Kong, Little Mini Kongs. And of course, we have some more NECA, Nightmare on Elm Street. We have Freddy 2, New Nightmare Freddy. We also have a Mego Creeper back there. He's okay. He's kind of hidden because he's aight. We got some Toonie Terror action here. We got Victor Crowley, and we got huge shout out to David. Thank you so much for the Toonie Terrors, Freddy Krueger. We have Blade from the Puppet Master line that I said earlier. His box was destroyed, and of course we have a 12-inch Decapitron from Puppet Master, and the 18-inch talking pizza face Chucky from Mezco. That's what consists of that shelf right there. And just below that, we have the 6 Funko Pops that were released from the Hannibal TV series. Both Hannibals, the Wendigo, Jack, both Will Grahams. And then we got these really cool bobbleheads. I got these as a gift from Full Moon when I purchased at Baby Oopsie. So we have Sybil, one of a really, really cool, unique final girl within her own right. And of course, her best friend Ray Ray, who happens to get possessed. So those are two real cool bobbleheads, and I got to be honest with y'all, I wasn't going to buy these on my own. They were sent as gifts, but these things are really, really solid. They're not plastic. They're not cheap. These are really, really well made. So if you're a Baby Oopsie fan or a Full Moon fan, look into those bobbleheads because they're way higher quality than I thought they were going to be. And underneath that is my Gremlins DTOF, of course. This took me forever to get these guys to stand right and to display in a way where I loved them. So now I finally have Mohawk Spider Gremlin, all of my Mogwais, and there's still more out there that I need. And then, of course, we have the Back to School, the Flasher, Stripe, I mean, all this stuff, Ultimate Gremlins, all this stuff just displayed in a way that I actually love. All the Gretas, the Demolition guys, the tattoo artists. Took me forever to display these guys in a way that I felt comfortable with and that I thought was aesthetically pleasing. Took me long enough, but I finally got there. So this is my Gremlins DTOF, and of course the cocoon doesn't even fit in there, and there's more Gremlins that I need. So once I get those Gremlins, what I'm going to do is, I have no fucking clue what I'm going to do. I have no idea. I'll figure it out when that time comes, but I do love how they display right now, and it's one of my favorite things to look at in this room because they look so cool. I finally got to use all their little accessories and kind of build a world with them, which is what I really wanted to do with the Gremlins from the jump, but they kept falling over, and I kept getting more, and they were here, and they started up here, and it was just a whole thing, but now I got them really looking good. But with that, that is a complete look at my horror room tour for this year. I'm going to do a quick little pan around so you guys can see everything. You walk in the door, this is what you're looking at. This is my collection. This is the place where I come if I'm feeling any type of way, happy, sad, indifferent. I don't care how I'm feeling. I don't care if I'm feeling horny, I come in this room. This is where I like to be. This is my little man cave. This is my favorite room in my house. My pride, my joy, where I love to be. This is my horror collection, everybody, for 2024. I want to thank you all so much for watching it. It means the world to me, y'all.